The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How LEGO Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, Bionicle Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Sync.
Hello everybody, and welcome to
Mardi
TTV
Gras!
Talks. I'm Messina.
I'm Venom.
And I'm Kini.
Yeah, Kini, you've decided to grace us with a rare appearance
Yes,
this week.
oh so
for this week's
rare.
episode.
Cause life, and yeah.
I'm trying to think when the last time you were on an episode was.
An episode was something. What episode is the newest?
It was the 100th
Was
episode,
it the 100th?
wasn't
I
it?
think it was the 100th. Yeah.
Yeah, the great retrospective. You haven't been around
Yeah,
since.
because it was either just
Wow.
before the 100th episode or it was like just at the 100th episode. So it's been some time.
Yeah. Yeah, who cares?
Nobody does.
Nobody knows who you are anyway.
That's how I like it.
No one likes you.
You're
I know.
okay. So, how's everyone's week been?
Interesting.
In your case, I guess, how's the last couple months been?
Equally interesting. I have finished my second last semester of high school. So this summer I'm done. And
Nice.
I'm actually, my parents are talking, they're thinking of buying a condo in the city, which I would then rent from them. So by this time next year, I may well be living on my own.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You should ditch Canada and come to the
No.
States.
No.
Since LJ's not here, I'm gonna fill that quota.
No.
U.S. rocks.
No.
Come here.
Meso.
We got everything.
To
Meso.
the U.S.
We got
Meso.
bald eagles.
Meso.
And freedom. Etc.
Yeah, okay, I'll stick with my money. Thank you very much. I like money.
Well, no, look at the bright
good.
side. You're gonna be more free.
Stay away from us. Barely like you
When,
in Canada.
Yeah, I
When
know.
did you say
Not
this is
like
gonna go
you
down?
better here either.
When are you gonna be expected to live alone?
This summer, depending on how it works out, it'll probably be around
Nice.
September. So yeah.
So you'll be all alone with your big entertainment center that I'm sure you'll bring with you.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how it's gonna work.
Just in
I've
time for Halo 5.
Yep, and
Yeah.
I've already been looking at stuff to bring along, so maybe I'll be around more often for the Halo 5 nonsense.
Oh man, I'm really looking forward to Halo 5. We played the beta, and it was a wonderful, wonderful time.
It really was.
Do you ever post those thoughts and opinions write-ups you
I
wanted to post?
I did the first one. That was the first week before Breakout they brought out. But I did post that one.
Breakout brought out.
To my knowledge, there was a total combined view count on it as of the last time I looked of 3, and all 3 of those were me just accidentally clicking and checking, and posting the other parts of it because Waypoint's got a character limit that's surprisingly small. So yeah, I did post them. I guess Meso and I will dig for a link to them if anyone's
Yeah, I'll
interested in
post them.
reading. But
Why not?
yeah,
Kini basically wrote giant walls of like bonsai level text
yeah,
talking about
level.
talking about Halo 5 and giving feedback and constructive criticism, because a lot of people in the Halo community like to just rant and rave about stuff and not actually give helpful feedback, and we find that very irritating.
yeah. It's the matter of, oh my God, sprint needs to go, aim down sights needs to go, thruster pack needs to
We're
go.
competitive.
But
We know what
yeah,
we know how Halo needs to be done.
MLG.
MLG
Yeah.
for life.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
You guys have been around the block with Halo for many, many years, and I'm a relative newcomer by comparison. How long have you guys been with the franchise? Since like the original one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Wow. I started with Reach.
Recall my dad buying an Xbox because he'd seen a commercial for Halo. So not only did Halo start off, or not only did I start off with Halo from the start, but I actually started off with Xbox because of Halo. So.
Oh man. Yeah, I bought the 360 for Halo, but it was Reach. And I remember the first game I ever played was on Standoff with Var and another acquaintance of ours at the time. I think it was Voiced Walnut.
Oh,
Voiced
God.
Daughter, whatever. And we played a game on Standoff, and then we played a game on Midship, and then I was like, Halo 3 sucks, and I went to play Reach, and I never looked back. And for a long time, I never even touched Halo 3 ever again until more people got Xboxes. It was all about Reach.
Yeah.
And now look where we are years later. Most people hate Reach. And I'm like one of the lone defenders, along with, well, not even LJ. Most of the time he hates it too.
Yeah, you know what? And it's so funny because you hated it for so long too. You were like, Reach is the best. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, Reach is the worst. And then it was back to Reach is the best.
It was months of slow degradation.
Well,
of quality.
I'm sorry, but I did one of my disappearing acts because I got really busy for like a month and a half, and I came back, and all of a sudden, all it was Reach sucks, grenade spam sucks, the guns in this game suck, everything sucks.
Well, that was all true at the time.
I remember feeling.
Of course, it's probably you still feel that way. Don't you?
Yeah, I still do. I still don't really like Reach. I think it's mostly because of the changes. You know, the title update and everything. And
yeah.
I guess part of it's also, like, the people on there, the way they play. Like, Reach seems a bit more abusable than some of the other Halos for some reason.
Yeah.
You're 100% completely right. The armor abilities were very broken.
The armor abilities, the inconsistent grenades, the movement. Oh my goodness. No. That out of here.
Don't you occasionally just get a pang of nostalgia and you want to go back and play on Forge World
because 343
with all the
killed
blue?
my nostalgia when they removed all the good playlists.
Don't you want to go play on Forge World with all the blue and the green?
I never liked the blue.
And
gray.
I'm actually waiting to have that pang of nostalgia because the last time it happened, the next day they said they would add ODST to the MCC. So I'm waiting. Because once I start actually having that pang of nostalgia and I say to myself and honestly mean it, I really want to go play Reach right now, they're probably going to add Reach to the MCC.
Okay, I know it's, with all the trouble surrounding MCC and how poorly that game is done as far as actually getting it to a working state, I know I shouldn't say things like this, because really a lot of people are unhappy with ODST as free, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? An apology gift?
Yeah.
There's a certain word I'm looking for. Compensation, yeah.
Compensation, yeah.
It should be free because of all the suffering the community had to go through. I would pay money for a Reach port. That's just me. I love that game so much. I want the problems it had to be fixed. I want them to put back in the playlist, and I want to bring it over. Because it had so many cool things, like Invasion.
If it plays like how it did before the title update, and they actually ported with all the original playlists that it had, I wouldn't mind having that either, but I'm not going to pay for it, I don't think. That should be a free-to-play thing. Because it was on the 360, so what the heck?
Yeah, I think it depends, though, too, because if they sat there and said... Because, I mean, I could see them $10 is probably around the max I'd be willing to go if it was a pay thing, because I also know how Halo works, and it's kind of become, at least for me, one of those games where I play it on and off, and so I enjoy it for a little bit, and then I don't play it for like 2-3 weeks, and then I enjoy it for a little bit, and it's kind of a cycle that goes. Any more than that, I couldn't handle. But I could also see them charging a little bit for it, because Reach, as it is, like you said, as long as the title update, as long as it was pre-title update gameplay, and everything was set up the proper way, it'd be great. And I'd totally spend, $10 on it, because remastering it would be, I'm sure, quite a bit of work.
I guess $10 wouldn't hurt too much, I guess.
The only thing that I would say to that, though, is that if they're going to bring Reach in, please God fix the customization for the MCC, because Reach without that customization, the in-depth stuff, is kind of sad. For me.
Well, I mean, like two things. First of all, it's inevitable that one day they're gonna probably port Reach, because it's gonna be the only Halo game from the mainstream series that is not on the Xbox One. Don't count Halo Wars, even though rumor is that's getting a sequel, but we'll see if that actually pans out. So one day it's coming. And two, I don't think customization's ever gonna be fixed, because they confirmed a while back customization for Halo 5 is gonna be like it was in the beta.
Oh,
They're fully
sucks.
embracing the armor set, because apparently statistics that they got showed that most people just used full armor sets anyway.
Well, that would be because when you designed your Halo 4 armors, where you got the statistics from, you designed them all so that they only match together, and mixing and matching just made you look like the ugly duckling. That's usually called skewing the results, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not professional.
You're gonna be able, it's gonna be better than the MCC. You can change your helmet, you can change your visor, and your body armor. That's it. Forearms and lower legs and stuff, that's gone.
Meh.
Then again, that was just Halo 4 stuff anyway. Reach didn't have that per se. But they did have shoulders. That was a big thing.
I mean, I will give them that, like, in that sense, customization. Hopefully they'll put a lot more effort into the armors and make them a little more intricate, because if they're basically one piece, you can afford to be intricate with it and it'll still work, because you don't have to worry about, will this thing still work with another chest piece. But at the same time, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm going to say it publicly, I do not have a lot of faith in 343 from an aesthetic perspective, because Halo 5's gameplay is great, and it looks beautiful, but Nightfall armor was a thing, and if that's just unfinished, that's great, but it was still a thing, and it was weirdly sized, and I just don't really like it.
One armor does not a game make, Kini.
Yes,
it was the exception.
But yeah. But when they're advertising it as your reward for watching all of the show, and then you actually get the thing, and it is... You know, I said ugly duckling earlier on. Like, that it was the ugliest thing in that game. The game itself was quite pretty. That was just glaringly ugly.
The game itself,
I didn't want
Please
to...
don't keep it like that.
Okay, I guess. Like, I don't know, like, the graphics in the Halo 5 beta were kind of like Halo 4's graphics, except maybe a little bit cleaner. Like, I'm not gonna give them all too much praise simply because of that. And you know, it's a beta. I'm not gonna get on its case all too much about that, because there is always room for improvement. The game still has a good couple of months or so to improve the graphics. No. Even though I have seen much better graphics in other betas, like the more recent Evolve. Oh my goodness.
See, the aesthetic was Halo 4's. The shininess, but there were moments where I saw genuine growth, and I thought to myself, yeah, this is worthy of a next-gen title. Mainly the startup screens for the games, and just looking at the map. Yeah, the lighting in particular. The character
the
models
lighting was better, but
the character models need work.
Yeah, most definitely.
The maps I thought were okay. The character models were what kind of sold it short.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I enjoyed all the little improvements they made, but the graphics overall, I didn't feel too impressed with, I guess.
Well, actually, I guess, and this is, I don't want to call this a segue, this is a little off topic, but one of my, like, I've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition lately, and the thing with it is a very pretty game, and the character models for everyone but the person you play as are great, but everything for who you play as is, like, awkward. Like, the facial features are weird because obviously you customize them, and the actual body movements are also very weird at times. So even for a beta, I have to say Halo 5 has done okay with the character models, because for a background, like, main menu kind of deal, it wasn't that bad. And I do like the way that Halo has gone, where instead of just having, you have your Covenant and your two types of Marines, and then there's the Chief, you've actually got a variety of characters. because they have actually, like, even in Halo 4, there was a surprising amount of variety between even just individual Marines and like science personnel. So
I want to play as Prometheans.
no, you don't.
That's a thing that should happen. Yeah, I do. Come on.
No, you don't.
It'd be super fun. You could fly around as a Watcher, and it would be like a reskinned UAV from like Homefront or something. And you would like mark enemies and tag them like 5 kills. You could call down a Watcher if you play as a knight and just fly around. It'd be wonderful.
I don't know why.
Yes,
that's the one thing. Yes. The one thing that I always wish that Halo had were like AI in multiplayer, or at least Forge.
Yes.
I agree. It's the kind of thing that would make Forge a lot more interesting.
Definitely. You can make your own firefight maps.
Yeah. Even like Forge from what we saw of, what map was it? Pegasus? Was that the one it was called?
Pegasus and Orion.
Pegasus and Orion. I don't think I ever saw Orion. I think I only ever played Pegasus. That was a Forge map, but the Forge, just from the way it looks, I'm quite interested in it, because from Pegasus it looks like there is a Forge World-esque map, but I'm not sure. And that would be really awesome to have a map of that size and that variety again, because one thing that I found issue with the MCC, in particular Halo 2 Anniversary's Forge, was that, yes, you can create your custom terrain and you can do all that, which is something I've always wanted to have in Forge, but there's nothing actually built into the map that you can go off of. And making your own terrain out of 4 distinct pieces and trying to slot that together and make something that actually looks natural, like it was meant to be there, is really difficult.
Maybe for you,
I wouldn't
scrub.
know. Yeah, Vin, I know you were trying to recreate Forge World in MCC.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever get that far with that?
I finished the hemorrhage portion. No, not even. I made a lot of progress on the hemorrhage portion, but after a little scare that I had a while back that involved me almost losing all of my work for some reason, I haven't really touched it since.
Oh no.
I might get back to it soon, because I know they've been fixing MCC a lot, and I'm sure they might have done some fixes involving Forge. But that's really the main thing that's kind of turned me off from it.
Makes sense.
It was weird. Like,
I would be scared to play Forge for like lengthy periods, or else you may get shoved into a random matchmaking game on your map.
Yeah, and it was weird what happened. Like, well, I was going to show someone my progress. You know, one of my friends came over. He's like, "Dude, you got Halo Master Chief Collection. Let me see that." I was like, "Dude, check this out. I was forging, and I'm trying to do this." And so, I prepare the Forge menu, and then I go through all the maps, and when I go to select my map, for some reason, it did not appear at all. It was like,
oh no.
What? And so I went to go check my file share, because, I don't know, I guess I thought I had uploaded it or something, and it wasn't there, so I was like, oh no. What is going on? So I don't remember what I did. I think I signed out and then signed back in or something. But it showed up again later on, and needless to say, I didn't suffer a heart attack.
Yeah,
though I almost
that's good.
did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go near Forge in the MCC. I applaud both of you. And I haven't heard that many Forge-related bugs, truth be told. I would be too scared with all the stability issues of that game. I don't want to work on something for hours and then have it get deleted.
Oh,
see, the thing is, or go ahead.
To add to that. Yeah, sorry, just one more thing. I just remembered what specifically turned me off from it. Besides that whole thing. What really put a scare in me was I was watching my friend forge a map. I was like, dude, you used to make Forge maps in Reach. You should get into that again. So I was watching him forge a map, and halfway through the time that he's spent on that, I don't know, he spent like a good hour or so on it, the game crashes. And he had not been able to save.
Yep.
It just randomly crashes while he was working.
No.
And he lost all of his progress.
I was forging recently, about a week ago, and I think the thing is that the stability issues in single player have, for the most part, been fixed, because I've actually never really run into them. Multiplayer is a different story, which is, and for me at least, I kind of always need someone to play ideas off of when I'm forging. But the only issue that I ever had come up was I had one instance where I was forging and messing around, and I was doing a lot of messing around with the scripting, and I had the map crash on me, and I hadn't saved it before, or I had the game crash on me. And then I was playing online. I was forging with a friend of mine, and we were about, I want to say 3 hours into making this map, and we actually had not really gotten that far. But what ended up happening was we kind of got bored, saved the map, we kept building, and then we started messing around. And we hadn't saved the map before we were messing around, so all of the work that we'd done up to before that point, or after the point we saved, got lost because as we're messing around, we're duplicating a lot of stuff. One of us, and I can't even remember who it was, deleted all the objects of a certain type because we duplicated probably like 97 different cliffs.
Oh no.
And so all of the cliffs were deleted from the map, which was half the map. And we hadn't saved up to that point, so we lost a good portion of the map. And in the process of deleting all of them, he did something else, and my Xbox crashed, or the game crashed. So I'm kind of sitting there like, is your game still working? He's like, yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm like, well, mine's not. And as soon as I turned the game off, his crashed too. So what little that could be salvaged of what we'd done afterwards, he couldn't save because his crashed shortly thereafter. But we're still actually working on that map.
See, I couldn't handle it. I would be too paranoid about something going awry with how inconsistent that game is.
Well, we did forge our own map that one day, remember, Meso? And nothing
I do.
too bad, except for like frame rate issues.
I suppose I should look at precedent. Tree Block Island is a fine piece of art.
Yes.
If we ever have an MCC game night, we'll show you all what we're talking about. It's a wonderful, wonderful map.
It's so great.
And I've been meaning to bring it up because I did figure out what the issue was with that frame rate that you guys were talking about. And this goes for everyone. If you're forging on MCC and you're doing Halo 2 Anniversary, frame rate lag is going to happen if anyone picks up a terrain block. Everyone else who's close to them is going to experience frame rate lag and performance drop, while the person moving the terrain is going to be fine. So keep that in mind, because if you do that too much, the game is going to crash. And then you'll lose your map, and Meso will be even more paranoid.
So what if you put a giant rock on the map, and then you duplicated it 4 times, and then 4 people all picked up that rock at the same time and started spinning it? Would the game auto-crash?
I have no idea if the game would crash, but you wouldn't be spinning it for long, because the game would be like,
I'm gonna go try this now, immediately after recording, where I'm gonna go spin 4 rocks.
Oh god.
I need volunteers. I'm gonna test this.
I would, but my internet's already bad enough.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, well, we're gonna wrap up in a few minutes here, but before we do, enough technical talk. I wanna, bring something to you guys' attention. Did you see the 343 article from earlier about the changes from the Halo 5 beta?
No.
I did not see it, but I saw you post about it on Skype.
I'll summarize it very briefly.
Okay.
Very brief summary. Here's what they're changing from the beta. Movement speed is going to be faster because people said it was too slow.
Boo.
I thought it was way too slow, personally.
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine, but yeah.
Reducing sprint speed. It's now going to be a little bit slower.
It was already slow to begin.
that negates the purpose of sprint.
It's not like super slow. They're just tweaking it a small bit.
No, but if I run faster normally and then I sprint and my sprint is just a little bit slower or like this almost the same speed as my running, what was the point?
It's not the same speed.
I know.
It's very minor. Anyway. Kill cams, Spartan Shatter, and armor abilities in general are all going to be toggleable options.
Oh, thank God.
So you can turn off kill cams, the Spartan Shatter, and then in custom games, you can have games where people don't have any of the abilities or some of them.
Thank God about the kill cam, because that thing is just... I don't even know why they try so hard to incorporate that. It's so bad.
Yeah.
They never get that thing right.
No,
for the longest time in Halo 4, it didn't even exist. They just cut it because it didn't work. Let's see. You can set your data center, like Titanfall, since everything's on dedicated servers. You can set it based on proximity to you to get less laggy matches.
Okay.
Which is
That's
good.
good.
Making the sniper rifle less clunky. They're taking away that delay where it like took almost half a second to zoom. It's now instant like the other ones.
Yay.
Adjusting the DMR scope so it doesn't block your whole screen.
Yay.
Improving
God.
visibility. The old rocket launcher is coming back.
Thank God.
Not replacing the new one. It's not replacing the new one, but it's going to run concurrently, kind of like the two swords.
I'm okay with that.
Reducing the bonuses for automatic weapons while you're zoomed.
Okay, that is
complained
necessary.
About. Yeah, and no longer can you shoot a grenade in midair, because it happened way too much.
Did it really?
Yeah. That was one of the most irritating things.
Grenades are already annoying enough as is. So, whatever.
Actually, that was... I don't want to drag this out, but when Reach came out, that was like the cool new thing. You can shoot grenades in the air, and then in Halo 5, you're kind of sitting there like, grenades get used way too often. Even more often than Reach, I'd hazard.
Actually, yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, I do remember a lot of people like shooting grenades in midair. That's how I died quite often. Where I would chuck a grenade and it would just explode in front of my face because someone shot it.
Likewise, so as cool of a feature as it was, I'm not sad to see it go. One less annoying thing to worry about.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's just really unfortunate that grenades are so OP that it's just not worth it.
It's not even that they're OP, it's that they're overused.
They are OP!
Well, no, but I mean, they are OP. But if...
What the heck?!
No, Venom, calm for a second.
It's not that they're OP, but they're OP.
No. The heart of the issue isn't necessarily only that they're OP. The heart of the issue is that you have two of them at all times. If you had one overpowered-ish grenade, it wouldn't be as bad, but everyone's got two, and then you have 4 people throwing 8 grenades into one small room.
I agree.
Okay,
and then it's an
you
issue.
know what? Yeah, I agree.
I've always said they should cut it down to 1.
Yeah, either they weaken the grenades, or they decrease the amount that you have to just 1 instead of 2.
Yeah. Or just...
I don't know why every game they feel compelled to, like, weaken the grenades if they just cut down the frequency of them. It's not the grenades' power that always bugged me. It's the fact that they were strong and easily spammable.
Yeah.
Because you can then pick up like up to 4 of them and just chuck them in rooms.
And then
Every single encounter in Halo 5 works like this. Everyone throws 2 grenades, then they get hurt, and because they can't recharge their shields while they sprint, they stay behind cover to get their shields back for like a minute. Then they come out, take a couple pot shots, thruster pack. Wait a second, more pot shots, thruster pack. And then eventually a third party comes in and mops up the kill.
Yeah.
That was pretty much how that game worked. So, any steps that can be taken to minimize that formula and open up new combat varieties, they're fine by me. I don't mind.
I agree.
Yes,
and I have high hopes. Because typically 343 doesn't listen, and people get on their case for that. The competitive community or just normal Halo fans that get frustrated at how they handle things. But aside from the sprint change, everything on that list, and there's a lot more, but I just called out the interesting ones, like they're turning down the frequency of medals because there were too many of them.
Wow, that's awesome.
they're turning down all the noise and all the random sound effects which would come at you. Be too crazy.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do something about how blue team always has an advantage over red team because they're more easily visible.
They're less visible, you mean?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they're less visible. So, all these changes, they kind of give me a little bit of faith that show they're not blind. They see you with the problem and they're willing to take steps to address it.
Okay, cool.
Now, if only they
question
could do the
is,
same
can
with
they-
MCC.
Yeah, and the question is, can they make matchmaking work?
Yeah.
I suppose that is where we will have to have a wait and see
Honestly-
attitude.
Okay, like, all of this sounds good with the gameplay, but to be quite honest, the gameplay has been the least of my concerns. Because regardless of what they do, there's no way that the gameplay could be... I don't think they were going to make gameplay worse than Halo 4's after all the backlash they got and the fact that they're
Agreed.
actually listening to people. So with that said, that's not what I was concerned about. What I was concerned about, what I still am concerned about, is how they're going to handle matchmaking kind of in general. Like,
Yeah.
but the most important thing, the playlists. Are we gonna have some freaking variety? Are we gonna have the umpteen freaking playlists that we can choose out of, like how we did in Reach and Halo 3? Or are we only gonna have, like, what, 8? Like in Halo 4? And currently
These
MCC.
are all valid concerns. These are all valid concerns. And I'm going to leave you with the last word. So go on.
Yeah. And of course...
Oh, wait, me?
Is
Or Ven?
matchmaking itself going to work?
Yeah. These are all
So-
important concerns which we need to wait and see. As a Halo fan, as all Halo fans, we must all be cautious. Unfortunately, after the botched launch of MCC, we must remain skeptical, take nothing for granted, and follow closely. And hopefully they will get it right this time. Because things are looking up. I'm very optimistic about the future.
You're always
And
optimistic.
unfortunately, we're running a little long, so I think we're going to have to cut this short. So, I'd like to thank
We're
everybody
running a little
for
long,
listening
so
to this
let's make
episode
it
of
short.
TTV Talks. Yeah. I'd like to thank everybody for listening, and I would like to thank you two for joining me today to talk about Halo.
And
Kini, come back. Come back soon.
No.
Don't stay gone forever.
No.
Gone forever.
Gone
That's it. Just
forever.
because you've asked me to stay, I'm gone forever. See you, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
We'll never see Kini ever again.
We'll never miss you.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see you
I'll
all
never
next
miss you
week.
either,
For the next exciting episode of TTV Talks.
Woo!
I'm
yeah.
Messedac.
I'm Venom.
then. I'm Kini.
And goodbye, everybody.
So glad this is over. God, you guys suck.
Ba-ba.